All right, we are live. Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, Gardner here. Happy November 11th, happy Remembrance Day, happy Veterans Day. Being both living in Canada and being American, it's a special day. And it is Warrior Wednesday, writing reflections. So today, what I want to share with you is some forgotten memories that came to me through the writing process. And then obviously today being the special day on the calendar, kind of triggered me a little bit. So with the process of this book, it's been amazing. And so many memories that were reignited from going into my past and sitting there and writing about it. So many wonderful memories. And this one involves my dad specifically, and it ties in today because my dad is a veteran. He's still alive. My dad is a veteran. And my dad, when he first married my mom, served a tour of duty in Vietnam. And I remember being a kid, and I was an only child, and I was the boy, and was fascinated, I think, with most boys that grew up in my time frame, with the war movies, the Midways and the World War II kind of John Wayne and what's his nuts, Burt Lancaster, all those famous Hollywood icons reenacting those battles and such. And there was always a mystique about war for me. And as a kid, you're innocent, you don't know all of that, other than what's portrayed in the movies, right? And I don't remember what age it was when I found out my dad went to Vietnam. I remember as a very young Jimmy, there was always his dress army suit hanging in the closet, with his medals, and it was just neatly pressed, and it was just hanging there. It hadn't been touched in years. I think he toured in 68 to 69. And as I started to, get older, probably 8 years, 9 years, 10 years old, something like that, I always started to ask him about Vietnam. What was it like? What was it like? And he'd always dismissed the conversation. He didn't want to have it, didn't want to talk about it. I don't really know. The only thing he ever did talk about was he didn't want to be one of the veterans that were, championing the cause of no one respects us. There's that huge divide with the Vietnam War coming back, the baby killers and all this nonsense and whatnot. And he just felt like he would just let it lie. And I remember, then I would go to my mom. I'd be like, Mom, like, Dad, what was it like? Dad was in the war, and she would, at one point, she told me about a bunch of letters that she received from my dad, and she kept them all these years. And years later, when I had grown up, and this is fairly recently now, when I went back to help them transition out of their house, I came across all these letters that my dad wrote to my mom in Vietnam. I don't know. That just came to me, but wow. But back then, little Jimmy, talking to Mom was, why won't Dad talk about it? Like I'm trying to be the proud son. And she would say, well, your dad doesn't like to talk about that. And she would tell me that when he had come home from his tour, he would, every thunderstorm, he'd jump out of bed, dive on the floor. So obviously there was a lot of PTSD going on. And that subsided with time. So as I started to get older, and then in my early teens, I think it was 15 maybe. I don't know. I think it was 1986 or something. I don't know. But I do know that what had happened was a movie came out. And me being in love with movies, I wanted to go see movies all the time with my parents, or with anyone for that matter. And I remember my dad asked me if I wanted to go see a movie. And usually it's me that wants to go ask. And the movie was Platoon by Oliver Stone. Great movie. Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, William Dafoe. I mean, it's just a classic movie. Academy Award-winning film. And I was excited. I was excited as a little boy, but I was also excited to go see a movie about Vietnam with my dad. I was just like, whoa. This was something that I didn't expect to happen. So I remember, 15, Jimmy's not little Jimmy, but Jimmy's still Jimmy. And I remember sitting in the movie theater, and I remember, during the scenes, I think there was 2 movies playing out. There was like me watching this movie, but me watching him watching this movie and reliving his movie. And, it was interesting to see, like, he didn't move a muscle. It was like he was mesmerized by every nuance that played out on the screen. And so I distinctly remember the ride home from the movie theater. And it was like my dad all of a sudden had diarrhea of the mouth about Vietnam. He couldn't stop talking. He was just like, the movie was so real. And he had one scene that he kept talking about, the scene where Charlie Sheen is in the woods. They're in the jungle, and they're on their watch, and it's raining, and there's freaking ants crawling all over his neck, and they had these military watches, and you couldn't see what time it was because it condensed, and it was something like there was condensation on it. Sorry, and there was something so simple about it. Yet my dad was like, "That's it." He goes, those fucking watches. They did that to everybody. It would drive us nuts. And like, we used to joke about it. And it was something that was just so real to him that it just, I don't know if it was a release, if it was permission for him to talk about it to me. I don't know. But I do know that the power of a movie is amazing. And it can be a movie, it can be a book, it can be anything. But there's these great opportunities to connect, and in my story, to reconnect to the connection piece, if you will. That really moved me. it really moved me immensely reliving that moment. And it was moments that I forgot. I just remember Platoon. And then, the power of writing is being able to relive all the sensory experiences that went into that look of him, that stoic hands on his knees and just staring at the screen, him pointing at his watch, just amazing. And he after that he would tell me stories. He would tell me stories about Vietnam, and I felt it was one of the first times in my life, and one of the only times actually, that I felt like my dad truly educated me on something. And it was about war, everything that goes with war. And so it even took my mom to tell me that my dad has a Purple Heart sitting in his top dresser, tucked way in the back, because he was in a situation where he almost didn't make it out. And it took my mom to tell me that. And to this day, my dad's like, So all this to say, on Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, I think many of us have family members, loved ones, friends, colleagues that have all served for the greater good and served their country in some fashion. And, my heart goes out to all of them. And I wanted to share this moment with you because through the power of writing, I was able to reconnect to a very powerful moment in my childhood. So, doesn't matter if you're writing a book, doesn't matter if you're writing on a fucking Post-it note, just write. And there's a lot of memories that are out there waiting to be reconnected. All right, there you have it. I love you guys. Mad love to the courageous. Writing Reflections. We'll talk soon. Have a great day.